You guys all good?
I believe
Yes,
so.
my evidence is currently uploading and will be done within the episode, and I will patch it to you then.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, counsel, Mr. Becker, and client, Mr. Joe Buckley, for meeting with us today. This is the last hurrah before the trial, the final pre-trial meeting. This is where we're going to kind of talk a little bit about your options, Joe, or Mr. Buckley. I'm going to call you Joe because I miss
my
you.
client would prefer to be called by his true name, Joey.
Joey.
Yeah.
Yes, Joey. This young man would like to be referred to as Joey, and we would appreciate that if you respect that choice.
That's what my school friends call me.
Okay. Well, whatever you would like, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. You've got your large fish there, and that's great.
It's comfort fish because it's very stressful. You've put him in a very stressful situation.
Mhm.
This young boy, Joey.
Mhm.
I stop
Well,
sleeping sometimes.
I mean, I guess
How much he sleeps.
it's all in the eye of the beholder. We feel, of course, my clients and I, that Joe put himself in this position. We don't want to be in this position. This has not been fun for us, Joe. Now, I know it's been a lot of goofs and a lot of laughing and having a fun time making quick videos at the last minute, but we've been putting a lot of work into our prosecution.
Mm.
And as today, the evidence, you said you're uploading your evidence. We're uploading our evidence.
The defense's case file was so large, it actually took a larger amount of time to upload.
Mhm.
So I apologize for that, for being so thorough in the defense of my client.
Oh, I have no doubt you guys had to find as much as you could. Everything but the kitchen sink to try and defend what we believe is blatant.
Yeah, and we're pretty confident.
But we want to come over, cover a few of the rules or a few of the things that we're going. Of course, we do have our judge now, the Honorable PJ Starks, fellow independent filmmaker. And
I think his films are fucking incredible.
well, and
Just
he's
an aside, unrelated to this case.
okay. Well, and he's also a fan of Joe Buckley.
Yeah.
So
Joey.
he's an impartial judge, but if anything, you do. I would say, Joe, at least your personality and your comedic stylings, you do have a bit of an upper hand. I feel that's my own personal opinion,
as well as the truth.
But I do know he's a fan.
I have the truth on my side, but that's okay.
So PJ is the judge for the trial. Also, today is the final day for any evidence. So this is it. As far as giving us evidence, anything else you get, it's too late. This was the agreed upon pre-trial day. All the evidence.
No.
Also, I want to let you guys know, if you have any witnesses, they have to be able to come on camera in the Zoom trial. If they can't make it, they cannot be a witness. And it can't be audio. It has to be audio and video, because I want to be able to look them in the eye when I talk to them.
What if we have an important witness who may not have been able to be here due to a medical condition or an important economic choice? A written statement by this person.
Do you have the written statement today?
Possibly. There are still
you have to have it today.
5.5 hours in the day.
Yeah.
He is a busy man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, if you get it by midnight Central Time, and we need time stamp on that, 100%.
That's reasonable. Okay.
Then what we do is we present that to the judge, and we ask him if he will allow this special exception to the trial. And he will find out. He will make the final decision.
Oh, wait.
If he's unavailable, and he's a busy man. If he's unavailable between now and the trial, and we don't hear back from him about it, that's just the way it goes. This was a deadline that was understood.
He's too busy making Volumes of Blood, an amazing film series. Honestly, huge fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
I loved all the blood.
Volumes. I like the volumes. You like the blood. I like
buckets.
the volumes.
Now there's a library.
So,
yeah, there's a library.
Well, I was going to say, in the real trial, they get new evidence all the time. They find evidence and stuff.
But we're not doing any gotchas. We're not having any surprise anything on the day. That's for TV shows.
We'll see how that. We'll see.
And ultimately there is a Zoom gatekeeper. So now, Joe, I want to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to my buddy.
I believe you mean you will talk through his defense attorney.
Yeah, lawyer.
Well, of course, you're here now, Joe. It has come to my attention that your counsel has written a letter to Henry Zabrowski, the man who originated my pee-pee hurts, that you stole from, allegedly stole from. It's not alleged that he wrote it. I mean, it's right there in audio. But
I'm not so sure that's true, but I'll let you continue, Ryan. Defense may have some evidence that points to other things, but I'll let you go on your incorrect tirade. Go ahead.
No.
Now, Joe, did you ask your counsel to do this?
No.
How do you feel about him reaching out to a podcaster that you're a big fan of about this situation? How do you feel personally about it?
That's perfectly fine with me. Yeah.
You're okay? You're okay?
Yeah. No, I mean the truth. Yeah. The truth has to be said, and if we have to get people involved, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I just want to make sure you're okay, because I want to make sure, Joe, that you feel confident in your counsel.
Yeah.
And I know that there is a conflict of interest because Tad is your cousin, and he has so graciously taken it upon himself to be your counsel.
Yeah.
But Joe, I know this is taxing on you.
No.
I know this is hurting you. I know that you don't want to be known as JTJT, Joe the Joke Thief.
I knew that does not come up in the court. That is
That's
wild.
That's
a nickname. It's mean.
It is, and I don't want that for you, Joe. No matter how well it rolls off the tongue, Joe the Joke Thief. Joe the Joke Thief. I mean, let's all say it real quick. You want to say it? Joe the Joke Thief. It really does roll off the tongue. It sounds good. It sounds good. JTJT. In the early 90s, there was a very famous actor named Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement.
Oh, the pedophile.
And I don't know about that.
Okay.
But
I mean, if you can make things up about me, why can't I make things up about Thomas the Jailer?
Mm-hmm. Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas the
whoever you're
Jailer?
talking about.
Yeah.
My point is, Joe, he was so famous and so known during that time period that if you said in the press JTT, everyone was like, oh yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, JTT, The Lion King, Home Improvement. I would hate for in certain circles, certain internet circles, YouTuber circles, for JTJT to be like, oh yeah, it's Joe the Joke Thief. Joe the Joke Thief.
Absolutely not. No.
And and the only way that's going to happen, though, the only way you're going to become Joe the Joke Thief is if you're found guilty in our court.
Good to know that is not going to happen then.
And, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I have a very confident prosecution. I feel very confident in where I'm taking my clients and where we're going, Joe. I know we're not going to tip our hand. We don't want to tip our hand. You'll see the evidence we have. You'll see that perhaps your Plex is part of the evidence. You'll see that perhaps a new project that you have yet to unleash is part of the evidence. But all that's going to come out in court.
The files I shared with you in confidence to hopefully get input on a creative project that's going to be used against me. Okay.
Wow. What the character of this prosecution is devilish.
Yeah. I would never do anything like that to them, but
unbelievable.
And we don't want to do it either. I'm just saying, there are things in your Plex that were acquired in a way that would probably be offensive to other filmmakers. And our judge is a filmmaker. The acquiring, the methods to which things are acquired.
I need to take some of these. I'm sorry.
And it hurts me that I see that you have to take some pills, and that hurts me. I hate that you're going through
I have stomach pain.
I know you do. And I don't want you to have stomach pain. I want it to be like it used to be. This trial has been just as much taxing for us and for Tyler. Tyler is, I tell you, he puts on a strong front, but it's hurting him too.
Yeah.
It's hurting all of us.
And yet you continue with these lies, these accusations against my client.
Yeah.
Shows disrespect towards me. And
he's a busy man.
That's the second most important part about this is your disrespect towards myself. And I really am not a fan of this.
Well, Tad, you have nothing to do with these our charges against Joe Buckley.
I am his legal counsel, and he is my client.
I mean, a couple episodes of your podcast are evidence, but it's otherwise you are just the counsel. I'm not going to attack your integrity because you're not on trial.
Let me tell you about LC copyright.
Oh, but no, it's evidence. It's out there.
No,
Joe.
that's copyright. Because you're not going to break copyright, are you? That's the most important law that's ever been existed. Is the copyright? Yeah.
So you're saying that we can't use.
I'm not saying anything.
A product that's out there for free for consumption that can't be used as evidence if there's something within that product.
Copyrighted material.
Oh, what about what copyrighted material? Is there anything in your Plex that's copyrighted?
I don't know. I won't know. I don't know.
He has people manage that for him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, Joe. But here's the thing. We could make this all go away. We could make this go away. We can make it so there isn't a 4-hour trial, a 4-hour block where all we do is find inconsistencies and the various things that Joe has said and find places where he's told falsehoods, etc. And, in front of the judge, who is someone who, respects you and you respect him and we all respect each other. It's going to be a long day. We'd love to not have to go through that, Joe.
Well, I would accept an apology at this point. I would accept an apology.
I think that would be fair. I do have another plea deal if you'd like to hear it. I believe you remember my last plea deal was fuck you. I decided that was kind of childish. My new plea deal, would you like to hear it?
Sure. I mean, that's what the pre-trial meeting is for.
It's a little bit more eloquent. It's
okay.
Go fuck yourself. I don't know how to point and zoom. Go fuck yourselves.
There you go. You point at the camera.
I'm a lawyer, not a cameraman. It's below me.
Joe,
could you imagine how awful it would be to have to be a cameraman or to guard camera equipment? Diabolical to make someone do that. Hours? Oh,
I remember. I mean, it's in the back of my mind doing something like that, but it's not. I don't know. I try to play most of it out.
It's
Joe, your counsel is not taking this very seriously.
Yeah.
I just find it hard not to smile and laugh at how outrageous this all is. I mean, any sane person will look at my client, my young boy client, Joey Bobby Buckley.
I'm a good boy, I think.
And 26 years old.
How does he still lives with his parents?
Mommy and daddy.
You're an adult. Do you live with your parents, Ryan?
I do not.
Do you live with your parents, Tyler? Do I live with my parents? No.
But Joe does.
He's the only one that does. He is it by the letter of the law. Joe Buckley is an adult. Mentally, may have been pushed back by the actions of certain people. My evidence has finished uploading. I will send this to.
Well, and do we get the evidence now too? If we're sending it to you guys,
we've already sent you all of our evidence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got all
videos of their evidence.
Well, the consisting of all of the videos on the YouTube channels and the passing the bucks, which were shared with you guys already, and the 2 clips.
No, but we don't know what you're pulling from.
We don't know. We just know the evidence. We don't have to tell you what our argument is.
Yeah,
you
have the evidence.
So
everything we're going to say
tell you how we're using it
is pulled from those pieces.
Okay. Well,
so then that means we can pull anything from anything too.
No, but you have to. We have told you what we're going to be utilizing.
Yeah, Joe, don't worry. We have shown them exactly our pool of evidence. And honestly, once they look through that file, that gigabyte file, and they don't see how silly, how outrageous that their claims are, it's okay if we give them a little bit of boost. They're going to need it if they're going to continue this chain of falsehoods.
Yeah.
So Joe, I think I get what Joe's upset about.
Yeah, we're sending you actual evidence and you're sending us episodes that we have.
But Joe, that is the evidence. It's things you said in the show.
You're going to be using.
Okay, so here's what's happening.
I'm
getting hot now. Joe doesn't want to have to look through shit to find an answer. He wants he wants the timestamp. He wants to know exactly what it is. But you don't deserve that because
we don't know what you're going to say in the episode because the episode says 800 different things. So we need to know what the thing you're using.
No,
that's what you build your defense by thinking what could possibly. That's what makes it a trial.
Joe, this is what I have been doing. I have been preemptively looking at and assuming at the lies and the falsehoods, which since they have only sent us 2 other videos that were not already public information that they not already searched for.
For the next week, Joe, you have more than a week and 3 days or whatever, to go through that stuff if you haven't already. But we've told you guys that we're looking through all of the archives. That's why we went all the way back to the Passing the Buck segment of 99-cent movies.
They are using the recorded podcast material and maybe any additional sideline content that they made.
Yeah.
We, as the defense, some of our files, I don't think I put my Google Doc in there. I hope I didn't. If I did, don't read it.
Let's call all your passwords. But ultimately, Joe, we could cut through all of this, and evidence could be non-existent. It doesn't matter.
Think of this
if
as
you take a plea. If you
put
take
it
a
on
plea,
a
now you
family.
don't have to decide today. You don't have to decide today. But if you take a plea deal, and I've sort of crafted a plea deal for you. It's based on the Alford plea. It's inspired by the famous Alford plea. I know you're familiar with that. But the plea you would plead guilty to the charges. You would have a lesser sentence than if you were found guilty of the charges in court. And you would maintain your innocence. You'd be saying you're guilty, but you're still able to maintain your innocence. Essentially,
guilty of caring too much.
Inspired by the Alford plea, but you would still be pleading guilty and you would still face a sentence. Now, you don't have to answer now. You can talk with your counsel about it. But understand the sentence you would receive is not going to be as harsh as the sentence you could receive if you were found guilty in court. And you'd be saving yourself all this trouble and all this evidence and a 4-hour trial if you take the plea. I'm just saying, so you don't have to answer today, but we would like to have an answer, if you take a plea deal within a day or two, so we can let the judge know that services are no longer needed, et cetera, et cetera.
Joe, I
want you to think about that.
I'm worried about you, Joe, because you and I have a long history, Joe. We have seen both of us in emotionally compromising states. You would say that's true?
Yeah.
Okay. And I can see the glint in your eye of true, I don't want to say fear, but concern. I think you truly are concerned, and I think you would love it. And hey, you know what, Joe? I wish I could just tell you, here's the episode, here's the line, so you could build the argument in your head and prepare yourself for it, because I'd hate to see you up on the stand. Ryan is a good prosecutor. He's a very good prosecutor, and I'm worried he's going to grill you so hard you're going to turn into a delicious patty.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Around a grill. Thank you very much.
I don't want to turn you into just a burnt little nugget sitting on the stand.
Don't split his weenies on the grill. Let's just say that.
But again, that's a plea deal we could hash out if you're agreeable to that. But again, you don't have to decide what.
Well, I would just need to know what the charges would be, what the sentencing would be, because that would have to.
Well, if you come to the table with us with an agreeable to possibly plead, we would hash that out. I'm saying we don't have to decide right this minute on this call. We can have a plea deal meeting about that,
Ryan,
if we feel that we're going to get a plea deal.
Ryan, I'm going to go on a limb here. I think Joe is ready for the plea deal.
We are ready to hear the plea deal. Joe, you were very stubbly. My God, this boy has not been shaven.
Tyler,
I know
learned to shave a couple of years ago. I'm sorry.
You, Tyler, specifically know about Joe's shaving habits, and you know how important it is to him. Look at what you have done to him.
Mm-hmm.
I will point out that I have seen Joe more stubbly. In fact, there was a period of time where he tried to grow a beard out.
No, that was for a film.
I wish you would grow a beard out.
Honey Crisp. I'm in on IMDb.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
well, you did. You still grew a beard out.
You could maybe force it. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Force it. Just don't move my head up and you see the spot.
Yeah.
Well, I will. I haven't really discussed in full detail with my clients what the punishment will be. We've kind of talked around one that we think would be fitting and entertaining for the man with no brain audience as well. It wouldn't be something you would necessarily enjoy, but I also don't think it would be the end of the world. But then again, Joe, there are things that you always surprise me. I just said it, you always surprise me.
I don't want to watch Click.
He is a precocious young man.
It would involve watching things, and it would be involving a live stream, a very long live stream, perhaps 12-hour live stream by yourself, watching films that we choose, and you can't just shit talk the whole time.
But
That's
Joe,
very much possible with the plea of your sentencing if you take the plea deal.
Joe, this is this first time I'm hearing of this iteration of the plea deal, and I already see a little loophole here, Mr. Ziegler. Joe, that means if this is a live stream, there's an audience there for you, buddy.
Oh,
Joe,
a 12-hour Joe Buckley live stream.
where did the stream would go down? Sorry, I had to consult my client really quickly.
It would be on the man with no brain. We would decide when it would be, and it would be on the man with no brain.
I'd be willing to host
with
it
chats,
here.
people chatting, whatever.
Yeah.
But you would be watching movies that you probably aren't going to enjoy.
Well, no. My big issue with that plea deal is I would there would be nothing to go off of because nobody's interacting then.
Well,
So, Joe, are you saying that counter plea deal for these gutless vermin would be similar, but they would have to watch films of your choice?
Yeah.
I mean, you're in no position to. We'll take you to court, and you're going to lose, and then your punishment will be threefold worse. I mean, there's not a situation here at counsel where we're going to do anything for your plea deal. The plea deal helps you because we have overwhelming.
Ours is going to help you by making you seem a little bit more humane when you come to the realization mid-trial, oh, Joe Buckley is innocent. He's committed no wrongs. I'm giving you a way out.
I don't think we're going to come
generous. To that. That's why we gave you that downloadable file that had things I was supposed to remove out of it before I sent it to you, but I forgot to do that.
Well, in good faith, we won't look at your personal stuff. In good faith, counsel.
Well, so Joe, here's what I'm going to say. I have heard Ryan's arguments at length, and Joe, remember that time that you were at my house. This is
it's a lot of times.
Remember the time you were at my house, and this was prior to the release of Butcher the Bakers, the premiere, and I got the music, and it was incomplete and not good. And you watched me weep because I was so stressed out and frustrated, and I didn't know what to do, and I was struggling to figure out a solution. And you in solidarity, Joseph, you cried with me. It was a beautiful moment in our relationship.
Oh,
Having said that, to remind you of that, this is me being truthful. There is no way that this trial doesn't go for at least 3 hours. So do you really want at least a minimum of 3, probably 4 full hours of Ryan it's not even a straight man routine. It's just straight. He's going for straight justice on you.
I'm doing the straight and narrow. I've been watching a lot of court movies. I'm in the mindset. I've been watching a lot of Few Good Men, watch The Verdict, because you've seen court movies. I'm playing the straight and narrow, Joe. You guys are playing the goof. I'm playing it straight.
Straight and narrow is, I don't know if that'll work in this kangaroo court system we have.
Well, that's the thing is that there's two different not outcomes, but there's 2 different audiences here.
There's one outcome.
There's the man with no brain audience and at large, let me tell you about, which I think the 2 of you are catering towards. Ryan's audience is truly the justice system. So,
I'm taking this to law school. This is going to be my end to at the very least some sort of fake law TV show.
Maybe like a
Judge Judy. I could be a new Judge Judy. I don't know.
Maybe you can get like a junior college associate's degree out of this.
Yeah. So, but again,
it's like if Ace Ventura went to law school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, essentially. But I'm playing it straight and narrow. I'm not playing this for goofs. I have a line of questioning for everybody involved, and I have quite a few questions for you, Joe. And I feel confident that our judge will rule in our favor when everything is
not that he will rule in the correct decision, but that he will rule in your favor.
I
That's a
think
way to phrase
that's all I can say. I mean, while we think we're correct, you think you're correct. That's why we're we're going to take it to trial. But again, it's up to you. If you feel, counsel, and you feel, Joe, that it's not worth your time, or it's just not worth the effort, or you just don't want to go through it, and you realize, probably won't win. It'd be in your best interest to take the plea deal.
So, I mean,
but again, that is your choice and that is your decision.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the heart condition's running my family. So, I mean, I just really don't want all my friends to gang up on me.
Yeah, it's so.
It's really Ryan, Joe, and that I think makes it even worse, because we have all ganged up on you before about various things that you are both, comedically and incredibly wrong about. But here's what I don't think you picture Ryan. You see Ryan right now. That's just his usual attire: the hoodie, the hat, the nice long hair that he's been growing out. Joe, picture him without the hat, with a nice tie on, a nice dress shirt.
Oh, a suit that fits.
I don't think that you.
Well,
a suit that fits. I don't think you can.
It'll fit ish.
It'll be terrifying, Joe. I'm
Quarantine,
even
that's
nervous
good to
about seeing Ryan dressed in such a manner.
So, I'll be honest with you, on a personal level, I don't want to have to do this. I've spent a lot of time building arguments and going through evidence and finding instances where I can say, oh, Joe was dishonest here, and Joe was dishonest here, and Joe admitted to stealing here, and Joe did all these things. And I don't like it. It makes me feel dirty. Makes me feel dirty.
Don't do it.
Well, unfortunately,
you're claiming to have such a conscience that you would not put a.
Well, it's not about conscience. It's just about, I hate that we're in this position. I hate, Joe, that you stole my PB Hertz.
He did not.
And integrity, the integrity of the man with no brain. And I feel he did, though. I feel he did. And we collectively feel that he did. And that's why this trial has come to pass. And Joe's doubling down on it when we asked him about it. That's why it's turned into a trial. But again, like I said, Joe, there is a plea deal where you plead guilty, but you will also maintain your innocence. Like I said, it's roughly inspired by the Alfred plea. This is the Bubby plea. The man with no brain Bubby plea.
Yeah.
That is a bad Bubby deal. Do not. They are trying to intimidate you because you are a young, impressionable young boy.
No.
If I took his glasses off, he would not be able to see.
No.
In fact, you know what? Maybe that's good that he can't see
Uh-huh.
what his friends have become.
What my friends are doing to me.
What his friends have they've turned into. I'm
Joe,
sorry. You can't back. I threw them.
Did you wrinkle Joe's glasses?
Well, I mean,
They're
I
gone.
can't see. I can kind of see your hair. So
He can see the proto mullet.
Well, Joe,
Which I will be better than prosecution say, I think looks nice.
yeah, they've attacked his hairstyle. Just so the people know. In
Who
person,
attacked someone's hairstyle?
Tad. Yeah, you attacked Tad.
I made fun of Tad's hair.
You made fun of the lower hair.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
And I'm not saying this is bad to do any. It does look better now than it did when I saw it previously.
and I technically ratted Ryan out, if I recall correctly. Ryan.
Well, yeah. I wasn't gonna necessarily, but I admit to it. Yes, I did. I did find some fault with the particular style of your beard, but I will say that it does look a little bit better now than it did then.
And that's just how his hair grows. I mean, he can't afford the implants.
Yeah.
So
Well,
hey, Joe.
sometimes if you know you can't grow a beard, you just don't. You we're born.
I choose to
But
believe.
that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I can't really grow. My mustache hair is clear, so I'll never truly have a mustache without dyeing it. So I just can't have a mustache.
I've got a reverse Hitler. That's how good I am because I cannot. It doesn't.
So hey, Joe, I want to read the charges to you because I think that you haven't heard them in a little bit.
No, I still haven't. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, well. See, I hate to say this, buddy. If you listen back to your own show, you would have heard the charges.
No, but I don't know the official chart. I don't know if it's.
It was in the episode.
Yeah.
It was in the episode, but you're not.
No, I
You're not
get that,
paying.
but I don't know if it's changed. I don't know.
No, it's
Listen,
not changed.
Do you know why he
We
has
will tell you if it's
because
changed.
he has a short-term memory.
I can't remember things sometimes.
Okay,
Just-
Joe.
That means you can't constantly be in character then.
Joe, I'm gonna read the charges. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Charge number 1: unlawful distribution of a joke in the first degree. And this means that the defendant intentionally distributed a joke of which they did not create and knowingly co-opted said joke without giving due credit. Okay?
Yeah.
Charge number 2, the incitement of unknowing parties to commit joke theft. And that means that the defendant knowingly allowed a stolen joke to proliferate publicly without acknowledging its origin or true author. And then there's the basic charge of damages to The Man with No Brain, Malevolent Movies, and the individuals therein, including Tyler Am, Trevor McCandless, Zach Shaw, Nicholas Swartz, Sean Walsh, and Ryan Ziegler.
I'm sorry, continue.
Those are the charges.
That's it. Those are the 3 charges. And they all hinge on the first charge. I mean, really,
Yeah.
first charge can't be proven. The other 2 were neither. But you stole the joke. You stole the joke. That's what we say. We think we're charging you with stealing the joke. You, of course, think differently. And that's what we'll go to court to determine whether you stole that joke or just whether you're the kind of guy that might have stole the joke. Maybe you have a behavior pattern that would lead somebody that doesn't really know you that well to believe, well, he might not have stole that joke, but I think he kind of steals stuff. So he probably did steal that joke. Guilty. But again, maybe that's the angle, maybe not. But
I think you'll come to see that we have evidence pointing to the opposite for Joe's character, actually.
Mm-hmm. Giving.
Trustworthy. Well, then, and again, if you guys are confident in your defense, then again, you
more power to you.
More power to you, and we'll have the trial, and it'll all shake out. And if we lose the trial, Joe, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't gain anything then.
Well, you would have defended yourself. That's what you gained. Right now, you're in the position to only lose.
You would be able to lord this over them, these friends, for probably the next
week,
at least like 14 days before it stops being funny. But
I think we've already reached that point.
We know, Man with No Brain. We don't, just because something isn't funny anymore, it doesn't mean we stop.
Yeah,
just like your Goonies.
Goonies never say die.
No.
But again, Joe, and I also want you to look into your heart. At the end of the day, you make the choice, not your counsel.
He's got such a big heart.
Yeah, there's not enough room for all the love in it.
So you take your time and you decide what you want to do, and then you can reach out to us. We would ask you to do it fairly quickly, so we can cancel the proceeding.
Now, Ryan, just for posterity's sake, could Joe, if let's say it's the heat of the trial, he's on the stand and he's taken a beating that he just can't take anymore, can he be offered a plea deal in the midst of the trial, or must the plea deal be struck and done
in a trial
prior to the trial?
I'm your lawyer.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know that because I didn't.
It's up to the judge. We'll leave it up to the judge.
I thought we would either be either or. I figured we'd either have the trial or Joe would plead out. So I didn't do any research into that. I would say though, if I were in your shoes, Joe, I wouldn't wait until we're at that point, because at that point,
Joe's
you've got the worst. You've got the worst of both worlds. You just sat through a trial and everybody heard all this stuff, and then you still end up pleading out, or you plea out beforehand. You save yourself all of that heartache. You save all of us all the heartache. The trials. That's a long day, man.
It's like an ascot now.
It's going to be a beautiful day, probably. We're going to spend it on Zoom. We don't have to. But again, that's your choice. Either way you choose, we'll be fine and we'll be ready. We'll be ready to proceed, Joe. But again, I want you to think about it, and then you can get back to us. I would hope within the next 24 hours, if you'd like to do a plea.
One moment while I consult with my client.
Okay, by all means.
Ryan, you're doing a great job, buddy.
Well, I'm just trying to give him. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to give him his opportunity.
Joe, no, they just explained what the plea deal. Just explain what the plea deal was.
Okay.
And also, I know Joe has been paying attention to this entire trial proceeding until this very minute anyway. So I'm trying to be fair to that. I know Joe feels blindsided, even though it's been a month and a half of this.
This is like Three Stooges if it was just two Shemps.
I would actually, would like to do a sequel where they do go to court for something. I'd like to see Tad go to traffic court in real life.
He has come to his decision.
Okay.
After reminding him what the court case was about, what the plea deal was.
Mhm.
Go ahead and tell these angry old men.
Joe, are you being held against your will right
I
now?
Are you the same
feel
Mr. defense attorney?
No.
I feel that Joe is your counsel's not working. And I want to speak
Don't
very
let them
frankly.
intimidate you. Let me.
I'm not trying to intimidate you, Joe, because your decision is your decision.
Yeah.
But I feel that perhaps your counsel is not acting in your best behalf. I feel your counsel has been goofing the whole time, maybe withholding info from you, maybe not, maybe kind of telling you, this ain't, they don't have anything. But I feel, Joe, that perhaps your counsel is letting you down and you just don't want to say anything because he's your cousin. And I understand that it's an unenviable position, and I feel for you if that is the case.
And Joe,
I want to reiterate, you make the final choice, man. He is your lawyer.
and nothing
You can
against
fire him.
nothing against you, Tad. I think you want to win, and I think that's admirable. You want to win
Yes.
the case, and that gusto, that energy, that passion, I get it. But Joe, I've been sitting there watching you self-soothe. You've been rubbing that fish's fin this whole time, trying to make yourself ground yourself, remind yourself that you are a person too. You are
Make
human.
this man disassociate. Boy, you've made this boy disassociate.
I'm just a little.
And I don't want, and I'm just trying to give you,
I
I'm
am.
trying to give you what I see as a fair out. We're not
Well-
dropping the charges, but this is, I feel the charges have merit. And that is the point of the man with no brain.
Ryan, I'm a little bit worried here. We have a situation here where we have an attorney keep referring to his defendant as a child. I'm not quite sure that this gentleman, if this truly is a boy, where is this boy's parents? And I'm beginning to wonder if maybe Julian and Bob have got to be at the trial to be there with the boy, because the boy shouldn't be on his own. Have you been emancipated, Joe?
I'm a priest. I can. Yeah.
No, that's not how that works. I also don't trust priests with boys, so
I'm not the
I'm the
priest.
priest.
He's a boy priest.
I'm the boy
so.
priest. I'm the best of both worlds for it.
Now, if Joe's parents were to show up, that would be great. They would be able to
would be great.
lend to his character.
They could also protect him
My daddy works a lot.
from any overzealous litigators.
His
Yeah.
daddy's a busy man.
Mhm.
He makes him the Stofers,
Mhm.
mixing the Stofers and the cold fried chicken that he gets from Handy Foods 3 days later. Joe,
Mhm.
he treats you right.
Yeah.
He treats you right.
And I would love, and I would love nothing more, Joe, for you than you to go back to that life of eating chicken and having a good time and watching silly stuff with your cousin and going on Google things in the middle of the night. I would love for that, So that's why, we would love to do the plea deal. I personally would love to do the plea deal.
I think.
And I think the man with no brain audience ultimately would be the winners.
Yeah.
And isn't that what this is all about? The audience.
Yeah.
But that is your choice. And again, no rush. Well, like right now.
Mm.
I
It's a
want
week
you to
till the
take some
trial.
time.
You
Yeah,
want
I want you to take some time to yourself, Joe. Go for a walk and think about these things.
Yeah.
Without maybe your counsel.
Yeah. Because I want to know more about the plea deal if I'm going to take it right now. No, but
You mean the sentencing? Is
No.
that what you're concerned about? What
Yeah,
the
the
punishment will be? Because the plea deal is essentially, like I said, it's the Bubby deal. It is an invented, inspired version of the Alford plea, which it allows you to plead guilty and be sentenced, but you are able to maintain your innocence.
Yeah.
You are saying, I'm pleading guilty, but I still didn't do this.
yeah.
That's
Guilty to
and
the-
therefore you would continue to hold your personal integrity and be able to say, well, I pled guilty, but I didn't do it.
Yeah.
According
So-
to the Bubby plea.
Guilty in the eyes of the law, but to your own person,
The eyes of me.
and as you can project, it was you were a free man. You didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would
You're
be-
allowed to say that. Nobody could. I mean, that's everything was agreed.
Yeah.
You claimed your innocence. You continue to claim your innocence.
Yeah.
if we
And you
continue
will always say, but you had to plead guilty.
justice.
Mm.
You would
And you won't have to register on the joke thief registry.
I don't want to. I would like to live within 20 miles of joke people.
He wants to live within
Yeah.
20 miles of an improv class.
Yes. I want to live within 20 miles of the company.
From Clay. I
You're,
like
you're
that.
breaching. You're in breach of that in Grand Ridge to IV. I think you might have to move out of mom and dad's house, Joe.
Thrown out of my home where I'm comfortable, where I'm safe.
And I would say that your sentencing will be like I said, it will be a boon to the man with no brain.
Yeah.
Even bigger boon, I believe, would be Joe's stunning victory. But
Well, if
he
you
is my
believe,
client. He has a
I
lot of
understand. And I understand. And if you honestly feel that you think that we will be able to prove Joe's innocence to our judge, or I mean, you will be able to prove your innocence to our judge, then by all means go through with the trial. But I would say also that even if you're found innocent by the judge, it's still going to be 4 hours as some heady questioning, and so that's a lot of time. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready to do it. I've got my arguments written out. I've got my opening. I've got my closing. I mean, we can do it. It's up to you, Joe. I just, in the interest of being your friend and knowing that it's tearing the bubby apart, and I know it is. I know it is. Joe the joke thief rolls off my tongue, but it doesn't come off your tongue quite as well.
No.
Yeah, and I don't want that. But I also have to be part of the justice. So that is why I'm trying to come to an agreement here that I think is good for all parties. But ultimately, it's your choice. And again, you don't have to decide right this minute. I would like to know by tomorrow.
Yeah.
So therefore, we can then release those that were going to be participating from having to block out that time on the trial day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, one benefit to Joe is that his time is worthless. He can spend this time however he wants. In fact, he chooses sometimes just on his own to waste this time.
Well,
so
I don't think your time is
your
worthless.
claims
Joe,
of
I want you to do what you want.
Oh, he's going to take so much of Joe's time. Joe could be on his phone watching a movie. He loves to do that.
Joe,
he thinks that way to
It may take time off his life from the stress.
Yeah.
And I don't want
And
that.
Joe, if you guys had dinner plans, cancel those. I'm worried Tad's going to put some melatonin or something in your sweet and sour chicken, and he's going to try and knock you out so you can't take the plea deal.
No.
Well, there's been a lot of imbibing of pills this meeting.
He might have already gotten you, Joe. Run, Joe, run.
Joe did eat some.
Don't you fucking move.
No, I'll say.
That's not how counsel's supposed to talk to you, Joe.
No.
I don't yell at my clients. I don't threaten them.
I think this one's still good.
What is this? The hair? Are you eating hair, Tad?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this about
Are
me?
you
I thought it was
eating
about
hair?
Joe.
Quite literally, hair of the dog.
I'm just saying, you eating hair makes me think that you are. I'd hate to appeal to the judge that Joe has to have no counselor. It's a different counsel. I'm getting a little worried for Joe. I don't think you have his best interest at heart. I don't think you're. Do you know what's going on? I know there's been a lot of drugs, Tad. Are you sure? You're aware?
Listen, I know. Okay. Do you know?
I do. I've done a lot of work. I wish I didn't know. It's been a lot of time.
No, that's mine. Please don't take it.
What
As you can see, Joe his counsel just doesn't respect.
What did you think? What are you doing?
No, that's
Joe?
Mr. Fishy. That I'd like him back.
I think we need to save Joe from his counsel.
You know what? Instead of that hashtag free Joe, hashtag save Joe.
Yeah. His counsel has definitely not been in his best interest.
Oh, let me just say, I don't agree with you, but the fastest way to release him from his counsel, drop your case. Drop your case.
Well,
Clearly,
we can't do
the most
that.
immediate way for them to get you out of this situation.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable.
They're not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Joe, we didn't have a choice. We didn't have a choice.
Unbelievable.
And this is the man with no brain, and that was the purpose of this channel and the show. It's to dig into the brain of Joe Buckley, and if we feel that Joe Buckley is creating a somewhat disturbing pattern of dishonesty, right down to and including his own persona, well, we absolutely have to address it. And the most fair way to address it was in the trial. But we have already talked all about this. We've talked about this.
I believe that my client, Joey, is ready to say what his response to your plea deal is.
Oh, okay.
And how he would like to proceed.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me.
Do you guys have a copy of Eraserhead in there? Because I think Joe might need to swear on that copy that he is of sound mind and body.
Not physically.
I have a Burger King gift card.
That, you know what? That's good enough. I think
Yeah, I
that
like
pretty
Burger
much covers the base.
Joe likes his
Wearing your
BK.
Burger King
so
gift
we know
card?
that.
I
He
swear that
respects it.
I swear that this corporation is my new God, my new Jesus, and my new way of life. They have Whoppers, they have fries, and that's better than Jesus for me. I would put that Whopper on a cross and worship it at the altar of this beautiful bun and this zesty cheese.
Joe, we're talking about the court trial.
No,
You literally just had Chinese food like 40 minutes ago.
I'm sorry. I was
Spiked. It was
I'm
spiked.
sorry. I was a little hungry, but no, I swear I'm not gonna lie.
He
Okay.
swears.
Okay.
Where's
Swore
on the
Burger
cross?
King?
King's Cross.
On the Burger King cross.
Sesame seed buns.
Mm-hmm. Sesame seeds in my future.
What do you do? What's your choice, Joe?
Well, I would need more time to think of it.
God.
Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fine.
Because
That's fine.
I don't know what the stream would entail and stuff. And
Well,
You know, we don't have all the details down, but I can give you a general thing. It's going to be you watching probably 6 hours worth of movies that you don't like,
yeah.
and you're going to watch them, and we're going to watch you watch them.
Mhm.
A live
I
stream.
mean,
I mean, maybe, and maybe you can take donations. I don't know. We haven't figured out the technical aspects.
yeah.
Or the channel can get donations.
Yeah.
But we know you enjoy the live streaming.
Yeah.
But we also know that you have very specific tastes,
Yeah, sure.
and similar to Clash of the Commentaries,
Hmm.
but you would essentially be streaming for maybe a 12-hour period
yeah.
from your home or whoever's home has
we
the best
could set it up
Wi-Fi.
here. We could set it up here.
We'll set it, but it's you streaming, and you have to. It's like it's a telethon essentially. You
Yeah.
got. I don't care if there's nobody in the room. This is why it's punishment. You have to watch these movies,
No.
and we watch you.
I'm just concerned about the interaction.
What do you mean?
Joe, Ryan, this poor gentleman. All he's thinking about is the comedic factor of it. That's not the point, Joe.
Yeah,
The point is it's the punishment
yeah.
for the
it's a
crime.
punishment.
Yeah.
But it will
We don't
be
care if you
fun.
sat there in silence for 12 hours. We'll put it up. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak for the Man with No Brain audience, but I think that would be fun for the Man with No Brain audience. Think about that. You go home, you do something, you go out and you mow the lawn, you come back, Joe's still there, and he's
Yeah.
still watching Adam Sandler movie, or he's watching Fast and Furious 6.
And Joe, there's a lot of times when guys in prison and they're on death row that people buy them meals because they feel bad for them. So who knows? Maybe you'll get some nuggets. You'll get a slush out of this. Just sitting there, just staring at the TV, not listening.
No,
We're
we
talking to
are.
ourselves.
I'm just trying to think things in my head. I'm
I'm just trying to stretch.
But yeah, you would. That's basically what the thrust of that punishment would be.
Hmm.
You would be watching about 5 movies in a row with minimal breaks, a continuous live stream. We just watch you watch shit you don't like.
Does he get a Gatorade bottle?
He can eat and drink whatever he wants.
He can get
As long
up
as
and
he
use the
doesn't tell you-
restroom.
Out of that Gatorade
Yeah,
bottle.
you can use the bathroom, Joe, but you can't pause and go in the bathroom for 50 minutes and fuck around on your phone and come back. No,
What
you
if I
use the
have-
bathroom in a normal fashion.
What if I
You know what I mean?
have bad
And
poop?
you'll have snacks. This
You can
isn't
go
cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah.
If you gotta go make mud, you can go make mud.
It's
Now-
unusual in the fact that it's going to be based on a lie. But
Now, Joe,
I'm
to
just his
give
lawyer.
you
What
an
do I-
idea, if you lose this trial, imagine the same scenario, but you're wearing a pair of Tykables.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler's wanted to put me in a pair of diapers for 3 years now. And
Not diapers. Not diapers.
It's adult diapers.
No, it's not adult diapers. It's adult nappies.
Oh, it's adult fetish gear, but kind of diapers, but not. Yeah.
But either way, the punishment that you could receive found guilty in court is more severe than the punishment you get during a plea deal. That's why it's a deal.
Yeah.
It's beneficial to you. It's beneficial to us. And I think ultimately it's beneficial to the audience.
Yeah, to the fans.
What if I live underground? What if I live
Joe, if you run, then I'm going to have to issue a warrant.
Mm,
Yeah.
joke prison is not funny.
mm. I understand.
Joe, because we all know what would happen. You wouldn't even be prepared to run. The cops would be at the house. You'd run out the back door. You'd probably get to the fields, you'd trip over the first lump of dirt, your pants would fall down, we'd see all of it. Joe, I don't want that for you, buddy. I don't want your
The cops
butthole, your
beat
balls, and your
you up.
belly button poking out as the cops run up with their flashlights on their guns. Oh, they'd
Call
tase
that
you
the
right.
Buckley Triple B.
Yeah, they'd tase you and get you right in the gooch. Oh,
I understand. Even a cop, I don't have the heart to kill.
well, I appreciate you saying that.
But
Article, Joe Buck.
I wouldn't hurt a fly, and even lower than that, I can't hurt a cop.
Okay, we get it, Joe.
But
We know.
bailiffs are great.
Yeah, I know. I enjoy the bailiff.
but I mean, are we willing to make the plea? We can do the plea right now. So we don't know what the movies would be, but that's roughly the punishment. We're not going to add anything. Oh, by the way, but
By the way,
we're not going to add to this deal. This is on here. We're not going to add to it. We're not going to say, oh, by the way, you also have to drink your own piss. You have to urine loop for a week and a half.
If you ever look
We're
away,
not going to add that.
you with a Nerf gun.
Yeah, it's we don't know all the titles yet because we would discuss that to find the best impact against you for the worst movies that we know.
The titles are The Boy Who Lied, The Fat Boy Who Lied.
The even fatter boy who lied even more. 2010 New Odyssey.
I mean, Joe, that could be the title of the movie that's made about this. This might get so big that somebody goes out there and makes a movie.
The boy who got railroaded.
Joe, I would love to see Brad Pitt put on 60 pounds and play you.
60?
Hell yeah.
Can I be Matt Damon?
Yeah, $1.60.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
No.
I mean, maybe we can get John Goodman to play Joe.
Joe Goodman, yeah.
I like him as an actor. That would be okay.
And like I said, who knows? I mean, I don't know the technical things. I just know that sometimes, I mean, we can't stop you from putting up I don't know, some sort of funding thing during your 12 hours, I guess. I mean, hell, you may make money. You may make money out of this.
Yeah.
Think about the celebration stream, though, Joe. When you win,
yeah,
it's gonna be glorious.
They would give me Funko Pops. Zach would come if he saw them.
Come see
come see the Funko
again,
Pop.
Joe. I mean, think about it, man. Do you want to wear Tykables?
He's not gonna have to.
I don't want to eat my own poopies on camera.
We wouldn't do that.
I mean, if Tad thinks he can win, if Tad thinks he can win, he thinks our argument toward a filmmaker about someone stealing movies all the time when he's had it done to himself. If you think that these sort of things, think about all this. I mean, if you think you can win,
I just think copyright is unenforceable.
That's your neither here nor there.
Previous lawsuits would prove that wrong pretty quickly. Also, I'm on the Tykables website, and they have expanded their accessories. Joe, they have something called.
They have ball gags, but they're fuzzy now.
They have fuzzy.
Well, you won't wear a ball gag because you'll have to eat food the entire time with the Tykable on that you don't like. Oh, it's going to be noodles, and if we can, and if you go well, the punishment if you're found guilty is much worse.
They have teddy bears that match your outfit. So you'll have to sit there with your arm around a teddy bear that matches your outfit.
I have Mr. Fish already.
I know that Tad isn't as familiar with Tykables as we are, but Tad, I implore you to hop on tykables.com /collections/snappies and take a look at the outfits there. I would hate to see Joe in this.
Oh, Joe's sitting there eating spaghetti.
Several times, and I had to refuse.
I think the court pet agrees with me that Joe's
eating spaghetti and mashed potatoes, and
they've tried to get me naked. They've tried to make me shave my head.
Yeah, I heard once that they made you take your clothes off and wiggle on the ground covered in lube in a restaurant.
Yes, that's true.
Well, no, we asked you as an actor if you would do certain things for the script. You said I would rather not, and we respectfully said okay, and came up with another solution. That's the truth.
I thought there was
the truth.
There's a hashtag movement for months ahead of time.
Well, there was one for you to shave your head, go bald, but that.
Yeah.
Okay, but
that
doesn't have any. Okay, that's fine, but that doesn't lead to stealing a joke from a podcast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
Joe. I'm worried.
It's hard to connect those dots.
Yeah, and the dots.
And you would also be guilty of theft. Just we don't care the reasons. If you stole, you stole. You're guilty of stealing.
Yeah.
I mean, I stole because of this. Well, okay, you stole. Guilty. That's what the crime is: stealing, not stealing because you felt bullied.
Hey, Joe, can I ask you? Can I ask you one question?
Okay.
Have you ever stolen anything in your life?
Yes, I have.
Women's hearts.
Okay. We're
mom-
already off on the wrong footing, buddy.
No, I don't think so. Because stealing some things are different than stealing others. If you stole an apple to feed a small child, that would be okay.
Yes. And have you done that,
$8
Joe?
million from the American taxpayers and then put it into the CEO's pockets, that would be another thing.
Sure. But have you stolen
Secretly
apples to
stealing
feed
a
families?
joke from a famous podcaster and tricking your friends into thinking that was your own bit. That doesn't hurt anybody either, really, does it? By your logic?
No.
I mean,
Not that it's him, but that it's a lie. That's all fake.
Other than my heart hurts. But
I'll mind this too. It's right up here.
I know.
that's
And
a little too high.
why
Go to
we're-
a doctor.
No, I hear it. I hear it.
It's right under your nipple.
Hold
It's under your nipple.
the child.
I want the kitty.
Look at fuck. Look at how natural he is. This baby. He's got a little
Yeah.
bow tie. I didn't even put that on him. That just appeared when Joe was here.
Hi, kitty,
He
kitty.
came with that bow tie.
Yeah, hi, sweet
That's how much
baby.
Joe cares. Look at him. Do you
I know.
think
That's why I know Joe deep down is a good person. That's why I don't want to have to drag him through this trial.
Yeah.
But
Hi, sweet baby.
that's why I'm hoping he takes the plea. But if he doesn't, then like I said, we're ready to go, and we'll see you in court. And that Tykeable.
It's on the table, buddy.
Mm.
they're gonna burn?
You'll be streaming for 24 hours in a Tykeable eating mashed potatoes and noodles, and then I'll never do Man with No Brain again. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of what we're looking at.
Mm.
There might be a baby
I mean,
pool
the punishment if you're
involved.
guilty is stiff.
Mm.
Yeah.
But again,
Are you
It's
ready
your
to take a
choice.
deal? Yes or no?
I would still need more time to.
okay.
I don't
Okay, Joe,
think my client is going to be able to process
Okay.
through his small
Mm.
childlike brain
Well,
all the
you know,
decisions and nuances.
you know how to get a hold of us, Joe. We would appreciate, take 12 hours, but within 24 hours, we would like to, well, like I said, only because of logistics and letting the other people involved in the trial know that they don't have to be available at those hours. Some of the people are busy lifestyles. And so, if we give them that time back, they're going to be appreciative getting it a week beforehand.
Yeah.
Hey, just
There's
curious for
children.
the
They have
audience,
children.
Joe. Right now, how strongly do you feel that you can win the case? 100%. You think you got it?
Well, I mean, we have some
75,
good
50.
evidence, but because we're
Does
showing
that evidence exonerate you? We don't care if it's evidence about the evidence you're defending your crime. That's what
I
you're
mean,
doing.
do you have
You
evidence?
feel you can defend. You
proving
feel
you
you
think a
can
certain way?
defend.
Yeah. I mean, do you have evidence that you know my thought process in terms of whether I knew I stole a joke?
They
But
did
that's the
have an
thing, though.
entire
That's
podcast series
that's the argument,
about
Joe.
thought process.
There's an argument that
That's
Ryan
our
will
argument.
lead to prove that. So that we can't give you that because that's
Maybe
for the
you're
trial.
the kind of. Yeah.
No.
And
Well,
I know- you're afraid. You're afraid of it, Joe. I know.
No. Because because I don't believe in copyright for movies. That has nothing to do with copyright for jokes. I mean, I wouldn't steal a joke just because I steal movies.
Sure, we recognize that a joke and a movie are two different things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that we're not shaking here. We're not quaking in our
Oh.
boots. Like,
Okay. I'm back.
I think it's a front.
yeah,
I think they're bluffing. They are coming up with these awful, terrible scenarios if we quote unquote lose.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
I have
maybe, Joe.
confidence. that
If
we
you
are-
have confidence that Tad cannot argue me on this subject,
Hmm. Well, he can be loud.
Can be. I'm the loudest.
that we can argue that he can better argue this scenario to our judge.
and yeah, Joe, just so you know, the judge will be in control of the Zoom. And he has a gavel. So if he chooses
Yeah.
to, you can be muted. I mean, you can be held in contempt of court and you or Tad could be removed and spanked in the hallway and then brought back.
Adult spankings, that ties into the Tykeable.
Well, I mean,
Tykeable takeaway is what we call it.
yeah, a little bit.
But anyway, Joe, I would implore you. We would implore you to take the plea deal. We think it's better for everyone involved. But I mean, I've said it 100 times, but I just want it to be understood. It's your choice. It's your choice, Joe Buckley.
Yeah.
Your choice
Well, I have to listen to some people.
to make that you don't have to listen to anybody but yourself. Yes, you have an attorney that's supposed to be advising you in ways that can better help you.
Mhm.
But ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's your choice. And so I want you to think about it, and I want you to just do what you think is best for you.
Pull us out.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I'd like to talk about taking the plea deal.